The ModernJeeper Show, the show about Jeeps, Jeeping, and Jeepers.
Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, this is another episode of the Modern Jeeper Show with me, Madsen from Metalcloak, and Mr. Modern Jeeper, Corey Osborne.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, and Phillip, you're back.
It's like I never leave.
That's what Corey was telling me. It's kind of like you never leave.
Yeah, this has been a crazy, I don't know. This has been like a crazy 3 months, I feel like. Jesse is actually over with Charlene and the Ladies Off-Road Network. Just finished up her wildland first aid training, wilderness training, first aid training. And is also taken some Tread Lightly trainer classes. And so Phillip I knew Jesse was going to be gone for a little bit, and Phillip had some free time, and he's like, "Hey, if you want me to come back out, and I'll be your co-dog." And I said, "Sure." So cool. We have just finished the first couple of days of the elevated 2022 experience, which we started over in Moab camping outside of out near BFE area. And we just spent 2 days coming over the Rimrocker Trail, and we're now passing through Montrose on our way back to Ouray, and then we still have about 4 days up in the mountains of Colorado. So bunch of industry folks on this event. We've got some folks from Factor 55. We've got Carolina Metal Masters. We've got BF Goodrich is with us. We have a film crew. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far, but we needed a shower, so that's why we stopped at the house. Badly. Yeah.
So we're able to capture you briefly for this one quick moment to be able to bring you in and say, "Here, come on, share a little bit with us."
Yeah, that's right.
That'd have been better if we get some camera footage of your world and your co-dogging and all the fun stuff. That's what the co-dog's supposed to be doing, right? You know, capture video, making a great Modern Jeeper video for you, right? Right? Hint.
He's over there feeding me chips and stuff as we're driving.
Yeah.
Grapes. One of those.
Grapes.
Lean back.
Can you peel these?
Can you peel these for me?
So yeah.
So wait, and then you're beating him with a fly swatter? I mean, what's with the fly swatter?
There is a aggressive fly in the vicinity.
Aggressive.
Yeah. So every once in a while you may see me. Yeah, he's gonna hit me in the back of the head now, probably.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, it's on his head.
Oh, of course, now it's gonna fly right here. So you just brought up some really good information about the issues that we're having with the BLM and the Moab stuff. Right.
Yeah. So if everybody's not aware, for those of you listening, hopefully you just took our direction. You just did it because we asked you to do it right away, right? But for those who didn't, or maybe forgot, or didn't go out and do it right away, or were having difficulties, they extended the deadline. Now that's good. I would think in our mind, that's good for us because they want to hear from more people. So they extended the deadline. If they don't want to hear from people, they usually cut that sort of thing off, hit the deadline. Sorry. You can't talk anymore.
We're good. Thanks. We're going to make a decision.
They're opening it up. So the deadline has been extended to October 21st, which you can go to rr4w.com for all the details. And we'll link it up through. And of course, like we did in the last couple ones, link up all the links you need for what you need to do on this. But the deadline has been extended. Now, as we talked about before, and this has been a very successful action, is tell your story. Tell your story. Tell your story related to Moab, whether it's just a dream that you hope someday will fulfill, or if it's a family history or something, a great friend, or something you do all the time, whether you've been there or not, whether it's just a story a friend told you. Share your story as to why Moab is so important to you. Share your story. It has
far more impact with these folks than, we've all seen the form letters. We've all done the form letters in the past where it's just kind of here's what we think, and it was somebody else's typing, and you sign your name and off you go. The form letters thing just doesn't have as much impact as when they hear from somebody who's actually had an experience out there. So
Yeah, there was a day when form letters, when a politician got a bag of letters, didn't matter, they all looked the same. That was important.
Right.
Trust me, Politicians don't care about that stuff. They care about the personal stories. The people involved care about the personal stories. Those decision makers care about the personal stories because that is genuine. Like we're all about a world of authenticity right now, right? We talk about that a lot. It's all about authenticity. It's not about fake commercials or fake politicians or fake. It's all about authenticity. And this is how you're authentic. You're authentic with them. They'll be authentic with us.
Yes, very well said.
Otherwise, we're going to send Phillip after you.
Yeah, we'll have him show up, and he'll just hang out at your house. It's pretty weird. Exactly. He's a great cook, though, so it's kind of fun.
He'll either hit you with a fly swatter or cook you with something with a spatula.
Cook you some food. I mean,
just don't use the fly swatter as a spatula, please.
No, that would be a little weird. For sure.
Yeah, my kid tried to do that the other day. That was not. Thankfully, I caught it before it happened. I'm like, oh, these burgers taste awfully gamey.
So what's going on out in the world? I feel like I haven't even really had a chance to catch up with you in a number of weeks. So even though we talk once a week.
Yeah. Well, I know because you're so busy. I'm doing stuff. I don't get to talk to you at all. To have a conversation, to say hi. I did go to the lake on our lake's really low out here, Folsom Lake, and I actually did a little lake life on Saturday. It was kind of cool. Took the kids out. Not something I normally do. I just don't think about it. But one of our guys said, "Hey, go to the lake." So pulled the truck up way, way, way down to where the water was, and got out. And I felt inadequate because I didn't have a canopy. I had a couple of chairs and the kids and some toys, but there were the people around us that were like lake goers, right? Had a couple of canopies. They had their chairs. Some had like fake grass down. They had their big floaties out in the water. A neighbor to us had like a floating slide for the kids that was out in the water. I think a company called World of Water or something like that makes it. Wow. I felt like I was just like the guy showing up, at a gun shoot with a water pistol.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it was fun. But of course I had the coolest rig, just not the coolest accessories.
Well, at least you guys, so you guys are still kind of got some warm weather going on. And last week we had that 3 days of rain and some snow, and we had our friends from Lunas Off Road and out in Tennessee that came out and spent a week with us, and we did some birthday celebrating. But really, our weather has been not the best, which it's still pretty chilly. And in fact, last night camping for the last 2 nights, I think we were probably down to around 34, 35 degrees last night. Yeah. The next couple of nights here in Colorado, it's going to get really cold. And I still, we're heading up to Uray, but I don't know that we're going to get over Imogene Pass. I think there's been some additional snow up there. Wow. So, yeah, I think our lake season is kind of over here. For sure.
That's okay. Colorado's got other problems. You can just enjoy yourself out there. You don't have to worry about the fact that 30,000 illegals were sent mail-in ballots for your state. But that's all.
Man, I've been so like I'm not caught up on anything. I have no idea what's going on.
We hardly have any time here. The last thing we want to do is talk politics because politics is depressing. One of these days, I'm going to do a show though. I'm warning everybody. One of these days, we're going to do a show. It's all politics. And you guys can listen to it or not. But I have some stuff I really need to get off my chest. And I think it's going to be a 1 hour diatribe, and maybe I'll just do it myself and I'll just be like, I'll just go through it. And then I'll have Corey's head popping and just nodding the whole time.
Yes.
the Corey head puppet just nodding. But I got stuff I got to get off my chest, and I just don't want to, bring it all into this. But what's big for us is Skillz Day is a few days away.
Yes.
Our fall Skillz Day. So October 15th, let me tell you, we broke this event up to be, usually it's 70. We allow 70 beginners to register and 30 advanced beginners. We define advanced beginners as somebody who has a little bit of experience, isn't brand new, or has attended Skillz Day in the past. And we also do the CTI trailer and all that kind of stuff. Well, this year, for this particular one for October, I decided to eliminate the second option there. I just wanted new beginners. I just wanted to see how many beginners, brand new Jeep owners, we would get. Within a month, we sold out the first 100 spots, and then I opened up a waiting list, and that was in 20 spots there, and all 120 spots are booked, right? Are totally booked for. So we're having a couple of fall off. There might be some waiting list people that we'll put into there, so we're kind of going through that. But we're going to have 100 rigs out there. estimated 220 people because of multiple passengers and all that kind of stuff,
Sure.
plus our volunteers out at Skillz Day this Saturday. It's also going on simultaneous with Prairie City's Visitor Appreciation Day.
Oh,
They do
right.
this annually where it's free to get in. There's other vendors out there, a lot of moto vendors and a lot of other different types of vendors out there, but there's vendors, there's giveaways, there's food, all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of a cool little event out there at Prairie City. So it's going to be a very busy weekend. So anybody that that's coming to the Skillz Day can then go and enjoy the rest of the show as well. And we're doing it a little bit shorter schedule. We'll end about 1:00 so that then the obstacle course can open up to the visitors for the visitor appreciation.
Oh, nice.
So and we're not bringing the CTI trailer. We're just keeping it simple. But it was pretty amazing that we got easily got 100 new Jeepers to sign up for the training. It just tells us that education, and we've talked about this before, is so desperately needed by these people.
For sure.
We don't know how to use their rigs. They're given these tools that are highly capable, and they don't know enough about them. The dealerships don't do anything to teach them, and then they want to really just be understanding, a little comfortable. I've got a guy coming who he doesn't ever off road. He doesn't plan on it, but he wants to understand his rig. We have guys coming from Placer County Sheriffs. I think it's Placer County Sheriffs or one of the other sheriff's department that we've supported in the past and given. They're coming out to actually train their guys how to use the Jeep we built for them so that they can go out and use it on the Rubicon and not be total noobs when they're trying to actually go through the con and trying to, monitor the area.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So it's a huge wide variety of people, but it just reminds us that education is important, and any opportunity, anybody out there, anybody listening, any club, any individual, any company, any of our industry guys, Skillz Day is not exclusive to us. We created this particular thing. You guys can create your own thing, but create something that helps people to learn, because we can't get it. Unfortunately, I can't get Skillz Day across the country. I can't do it every state, and I could probably do one once a month here. It's a lot of effort to do. It takes several weeks to put together. It's a dedicated focus of a lot of staff to make it happen. I just can't do it every month. But I could, if I did it every month, I'd have 100 new Jeepers probably every month that want to know how to do things. And so,
well, and it's wow, it's like getting dark here at 3:30 in the afternoon. We actually had a very similar conversation this morning. It's amazing at how fast the industry itself is even changing. Look at this. I mean, we talk a little about the overlanding environment. We talk about ARS racks, and we talk about what people need when we're overlanding. And it's changing so fast. It's even the folks who do it a lot, and I consider myself kind of in that realm of I'm out quite a bit, or at least have been the last few months. There's new things coming, and a lot of times the guys who are using them don't know even what they're going to be useful for, or if there needs to be changes. But what we're seeing is a lot of folks bring out new products, or they're handed to other folks to use and try out, and then provide feedback. And guys, this is part of all of our R&D that goes on with ARS, with Metalcloak stuff. Sometimes products work really well, and sometimes they have to go back in and get tweaked and adjusted, and sometimes they just get scrapped because it turns out it's not an idea that is going to work. But it's interesting to me to see folks who are within the industry. We're all kind of struggling through this whole overlanding process of, what do you use? And we had a conversation this morning about, I think I've got 5 stoves, and they got, I've got a garage full of stuff that we've bought and tried, and it doesn't work, or it doesn't quite work right. Rooftop tents are changing. iCamper that we had on a number of Metalcloak rigs, they're into like version 3.0 on a lot of things, and they have some other models coming out. Even Go Mammoth, our friends at Go Mammoth, that they've changed some of the designs. I don't know. It's amazing to me that we've not been, other countries and the Toyota folks. A lot of people have been camping for a number of years. I feel like us as Jeepers are fairly new to the overlanding side of things, even if it's been the last handful of years. So the products are still coming, and they're still evolving. And I guess I think that's what intrigues me about the overland industry and the Jeep industry. Our whole lifestyle is that it doesn't it doesn't rest very long. And what you think you have the perfect solution, somebody's going to come out with something and go, "What about this?" And you're going to go, "Oh, yeah,
Well,
that would help me."
the interesting thing about that is with the advent of the Jeeper coming into it is what to me is the advent of the concept of rock landing, right?
Yes.
That
Yes.
now the Jeeper is fully built, capable Jeep, able to do a bunch of stuff, but he also wants to go overlanding, which probably means things like your iCampers and your Go Mammoths and those and other tools have to get tougher.
Yes.
That's the approach we take with Adventure Rack Systems.
That's
is
right.
that we're making rack systems that have to be tougher. They have to be tougher because they're going onto rigs that may be going into areas that they've got to hold up. They've got to be as strong as an exo cage. They've got to be able to handle the kind of abuse that we
That's
put
right.
onto Jeeps.
That's right.
You can't have a super strong suspension and then a super weak rack, right? It just doesn't work. So it's interesting you say that, because I think that's what we're seeing is this evolution of going, wow, we actually have to have better products now. You rather have a DMOS shovel because it's nice and strong and compact than the little aluminum one I can buy for $20 on Amazon.
That's right. Yep.
That'll help me once or twice, but it may not be able to help you when you're in that critical survival moment.
Yeah. Again, that's one of those that we kind of go back to that. Turns out you do actually sometimes get what you pay for. And you look at something and you go,
Right.
How come this coat or this shoe or these sunglasses, whatever it happens to be, how come this is more expensive? I can get a cheaper model. Well, it's when we get back to the roots of it all and we go, well, yeah, that ripped or that broke or that scratched, or there's a reason for it sometimes. And I get it. We've all fell prey to, I'm going to buy it because it's expensive, not because the brand has a great reputation. And then we get it and we go, oh yeah, maybe should have bought the brand that had maybe a better name or something like that.
Right. And it's, I think Jeepers are great shoppers, right? We know that our customers do their research before they pull the trigger.
That's right.
And because of that, sometimes a cheaper product might be a better product. Do the research, look at the reviews, right? When you're trying to figure out. But the thing about overlanding is I'm sorry, my camping gear when I just generally go camping is different than your camping gear. We go backpacking all the time, and what's sitting in my backpack is different than what's sitting in somebody else's backpack. We have our preferences as to how we want to sleep, what kind of tent we want, what kind of food we're going to eat, how we want to pump our water. There's variations there, which is what makes it cool, because you're sitting around there going, oh, hey, I've never seen that kind of pump. You're really comparing technologies, and the technologies evolve. I'm not an early adopter. You are, right? So if I will go, maybe I'm still using a crank water pump, right? When I'm out backpacking and the guy next to me is using a gravity feed, right? I mean, it's different technologies, and then you learn and you grow. And I think the same thing's true with our Jeeps, is we're constantly evolving, and we're using how I want to do it and how I want to overland is different. We have a rooftop tent, but I still love my iCamp or my tent cot.
Oh yeah,
Camp Right tent cot. I think it's a great.
Phillip's in my Camp Right tent cot, and I'm in the rooftop tent. But it's kind of funny that
you guys aren't spooning.
No spooning.
Oh,
There's
okay.
no spooning on this trip.
Did Jesse say that was not allowed?
Yeah, there'd be none of that. It's kind of an interesting group though that we're with this week though, because it's a very varied. There are 3/4 ton full size pickups. There's a 1/2 ton pickup. There's 4-door Jeeps and Gladiators. A Gladiator pulling a trailer. There's guys in a 2-door staying in a tent, just a ground tent. So it's very interesting to watch how what works for some people and what works for others. We did do a taste test this morning, and there'll be more to come on this. But a couple years ago, I discovered Peak meals, and that was actually through our buddy Dale Albright. And they're a little bit more expensive, but they pride themselves on kind of a natural or a fresher food. I think they're based in Utah. The Peak meals I've really liked. So this morning we actually had one of the mountain, what's it called? Mountain Smith,
Twin Mountain. What did you say at Walmart? Or
the Walmart
Academy,
branded
the blue
backpacker
white
meals.
package.
And they were both breakfast skillets. So we cooked them both, and we had a little taste test with a number of folks in our group. And I got to tell you what, going back to that Walmart brand, that Mountain Smith, and which I used to, that's what I used to take, and I thought they were fine. To take a bite of that one this morning, and then take a bite of the Peak meal. Oh, it's like going from chewing on cardboard to actually having a real cooked meal in front of you.
You're thinking of Mountain House.
Mountain House, yes,
Mountain House,
yes, Mountain House.
Yeah, I can't even tell you what brand we did on the Pacific Crest Trail. But when it's the only thing you have every single day,
yes,
and it's the first real food, because we only ate it for dinner, right? And we combined it with instant rice or instant potatoes to add the calories. We take the packets and they're all pre-packaged and pre-mixed into Ziploc baggies. But and it's the last thing you have, because all you've had all day was a Cliff Bar and some dried fruit. That is the most amazing lasagna I've ever had.
Yes, and their lasagna is pretty good from that brand too.
But you put that aside, and you kind of go, thankfully we didn't have anything to compare it to. Otherwise, I probably would have been very disappointed in my life.
Well, this was the other funny thing. So we were looking at shelf life. That inferior meal, we'll just call it. Its expiration date was 2050.
So a little bit less than a Twinkie.
You're right. Yeah. A little less than a Twinkie. The Peak meal was, I think, 5 years. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to say then, the Mountain House skillet is your good prepper meal. Like load up the garage with a few boxes of those, and you'll be fine for a little while.
Because then you can eat the box later too.
Right? I'm thinking use it as a spoon. Crackers. That's not a bad. What a good idea. Like an edible freeze-dried box.
Well, we have the little peanuts that are
the peanut package. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just
those are just empty. Those are just empty calories, dude. That's just empty calories.
Good stuff, though. It was very interesting, and I've become a big proponent of the Peak stuff, and we'll make sure we'll do a story coming up on some of the varieties that they have. They're a really good option. They're I think a healthier option for the most part. Again, those meals are really packed. They're meant for you to have a backpack on and go and climbing and doing things. If you're just riding around on a Jeep and you're really not doing a whole lot, it's a lot of carbs and a lot of protein, a lot of calories that are just sitting there. So
right. Well, like the Peak Refuel Breakfast Skillet, Al's Sporting Goods, $13.99.
Yes.
Versus it's about $3-4 more. About 40% price difference.
It's worth every penny.
Yeah. Well, it's a difference of going to Carl's Jr. or going to McDonald's, right? Or going, which is better, or going to. Let me rephrase that. Maybe it's more like going to the Habit for a burger versus going to McDonald's. Okay.
There you go. Or In-N-Out or Whataburger or whatever your choice.
whatever your poison is.
Yes.
Well, good. Sure. Good. So, all right. So that was our tech tip of the day.
Yeah, there you go. We should do our giveaway again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea, because I was thinking about that. Like, we need to do our giveaway. Do you want to start it this month or start it next week? Since we're kind of getting things. This is a short episode. It'd be too easy for people to really get this.
Well, that's true too. Let's talk about it, and then let's start it next week, and that way we can get on track. And because then it'll be. What do you want to do? Like 4?
Let's do 5.
Five. So that will put us into the middle of November.
Yeah. So right after Veterans, huh?
Yeah.
So that'll put us right. Yeah, because we're So if we start it next week, because we're Columbus Day, the 11th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that'll be the 17th would be our last one, which means we'd announce it. Without me announcing it Thanksgiving week. Our Thanksgiving special. We could do that.
Do that.
Yeah. Announce it during Thanksgiving special, and then bring our winner on the week after. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. So we'll announce it during our Thanksgiving special. Phillip, you're going to be on our Thanksgiving special, right?
Sure.
I need you to get yourself a turkey costume.
We'll see.
Corey's going to dress like a pilgrim.
Yeah. I think I still got my pilgrim hat. from somewhere.
Jesse's
I
going to
don't know.
dress like Pocahontas.
Polkas haunt us.
I got to say, by the way, thank you to all of you who participated and supported us during the Columbus Day sale. I have a personal, it's a very personal thing that I like to make sure that we actually celebrate Columbus, even though I'm not Italian. And I know the Italians still appreciate Columbus for what he did. And yeah, you know what? Maybe the guy was an asshat, but he was the strongest person of his time to be able to do what he did. And you kind of had to be an asshat to think that you could actually go across the ocean in a boat that's basically the size of an average dinghy in Santa Barbara. And have three of them and take some people across the country that could easily like backstab you at any moment across the ocean and find a new land. So hats off to him. We should, everybody who wants to deride him and what he accomplished doesn't understand history and just wants to feel what's the word, better about themselves. So
special.
Yes, special. No, that's a little different. You are very special. So thanks to everybody who participated in that sale. And actually, funny, I didn't get a derisive email this year. I almost always do. Almost always get some.
Yeah, you always get some kind of feedback going.
Maybe we're having a little bit of impact on these people that realize, oh yeah, gee, we wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him.
That's very true.
Yeah. So embrace history.
Totally.
Okay, so what's next for you guys? You guys got to take off here in a few minutes.
Yeah, we're actually going to head up to Uray tonight. Okay. We've got a little group dinner planned, and then first thing tomorrow we will head back up into the mountains. And I don't know which way we're going because I'm not sure where we're going to go, which route. I know that we'll work our way over the San Juans. We're going to go up through Silverton. I'm going to take these guys over to Lake City, and then we're going to work our way a little bit north. We're going to go through Gunnison, try to get over Schofield Pass, which is not even a pass that I've been over in probably 12 years or something like that. Super scenic. The leaves are still changing right now, so hopefully some really good footage comes out of this, and we get to share it with you all. It's their route is biting off a lot, so we're gonna play it by ear. We've got some pretty heavy trail days coming up, and there's still a lot of people in town. Man, when we were in Moab the other day, I'm just blown away. And I got to text with Jessie briefly, and she said it's like a Saturday in Moab still on a Monday and Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, just crazy amount of people around, which, again, these businesses that rely on the summer season, my fear is that a lot of these small towns, Uray included, there's typically a break that needs to take place. And if there is no break, I'm worried about what that kind of impact it has on the town, because a lot of these people get pretty burnt out working 16-hour days for 3 months straight without having a day off. So we'll see. I mean, it's good for the industry. It's good for business. We still see a lot of folks. In fact, one of the guys with us last night had Starlink with him, and we all talked a lot about it. And for some people, it's a necessity. They have to have it. Pretty cool though to be able to throw down a dish in the middle of nowhere. I had 0 signal, and he could stream DVD movies.
Yep.
Middle of nowhere.
I'm about to throw up in my mouth.
We talked it,
and I get it. I mean, I get it. It's the idea of overlanding, but man, when you want to get away from it, the last thing you want to hear is some movie going on in the background.
My comment really was, and we had this comment, and there was a number of people that shared the same view, is, I would like it. I would probably use it, but I would never want to tell anybody that I had it. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Like we're all so tied in to, I gotta check, but you know what? We don't. And that's why we go out into the wilderness and we go out into these areas that there's nothing. I don't know. Jury's still out.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because it'd be cool to be all set up and have a true overlanding. And when if the shit hit the fan, man, I'd want to have one of those in my go bag, right? I'd want to have that, right?
Yep.
But when I'm going out just to enjoy things with a bunch of people, I want to enjoy things with a bunch of people. And I don't want to pull something else in, or I don't want to have that tech, and I don't want to have, you know, you want to be back to basics. You don't want to have to deal with your, even when I did the PCT, I had my phone with me the entire time, but I had it on airplane mode. And it was simply a portable camera. Like I just, everything it was just to take photos. And
I sit around, and next time you go to a restaurant, look over at a group of people and glance over and see how many people are sitting there like this. And it is sickening.
Right.
They're staring at their phones. They're not present. And we talked about that, I think, before. You guys, we've got to be more present in the things that we're doing, whether we're off-road driving with our families, is not watching TV, that was a bad analogy. Being with friends and family, being with others, people that you don't even know. We've got to be more present. And I think we're still on that other side. We're moving the other direction of, well, I'm sitting next to this guy, I'll just text him.
Right. That's bad. Yeah. No, it doesn't. It is kind of interesting. You're just people that are using their phones, looking at. Now, I sometimes do it and I feel guilty. Like I actually look at my phone thinking that people are looking at me like, well, he's sitting there having a conversation. Like I'm in there with my doctor's office, and I would physically tell them, like, I'm going to be taking notes on my phone, just to let you know. Right. Because I don't want to be sitting there staring at my phone. Because what's the assumption? Oh, he's on Facebook, or he's on chat, or he's doing something social.
Well, according to the commercials, you're banking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're banking.
You're banking.
Yeah. And I'm just buying new Metalcloak parts. That's all.
There you go. There you go.
Habit. I just do that every day. It's my habit. All right. Hey, well, guys, I appreciate you joining us for the short, brief one. Hey, thanks for all the Modern Jeepers for doing this. But remember what we just said. There is going to be a giveaway starting next week. Now, I am going to say something here, and Corey and I have talked about this, but I'm just going to pout peak. So what is that? That is a bonus. So that's all I'm going to remember, peak. If we ever ask you for the bonus, just remember peak. That being said, starting next week, we'll do a keyword sometimes during the show, and the end result will be a prize, which we'll discuss and figure out what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think we've done like $5,000 in parts or something like that, but maybe not. Maybe we'll do some actual parts, or maybe we'll do some things, some of our hookups. Yeah. We got a couple more guys and a couple more companies interested in doing stuff. So maybe we'll do things at a group. I do appreciate all of you who have been submitting events for the calendar.
Yes.
Email went out last week, and we're doing another one out this week, that if you have an event, make sure you send it over to Jesse at metalcloak.com and give all the details. All we need to know is the event, the location, and the dates. And that's easy peasy. And once your event will be in the calendar, and that calendar will be printed and distributed by the beginning of November. I'm hoping, soon, because
we should be. Yep. And that's the bad part about, guys, if you don't get us your dates and we go to print, your event may not make it in the calendar. So please get that stuff to us, and we'll make sure that your event gets noticed.
Yes, sir. And for all of it, you can reach out to us. You know how to reach me, Matt at metalcloak.com, Corey at metalcloak.com, Phillip at phillip.com.
At Corey's house.
Yeah. Phillip at corey'shouse.com.
Phillip at Corey's house. Corey's inhousecook.com. Yeah, you are not. I'm just jealous because now I want some tacos. I went to a restaurant today, and I'm thinking, God, man, your tacos are so much better, man.
So remember, guys, this is also the dude that you want a canopy for the event, the Owners Club stuff. This is the guy. So
this is the guy who does Metalcloak Owners Club. This is the guy who does the Modern Jeeper Forum.
Yep.
This is the guy who just, I don't know. My hat's off to you. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Phillip, and truly appreciate you being a part of the team.
For sure.
But that being said, you can reach out to us if you need to get to Metalcloak Owners Club canopy. You get through Phillip through the forum on the Metalcloak Owners Club.
The forum is on the Metalcloak Owners Club piece on Facebook. It should be pinned up at the very top.
Perfect.
And that thing comes straight to me, and I'll reach out to you. That's
metalcloakowners.club. And if you are an adventure rack system guy, you can go to the rocklanderadventure.club. It's our new Rocklander Adventure Club. Yep, there you go. Corey's got it hanging on his left titty. And if that doesn't get some of you guys looking over the YouTube channel, I don't know what will.
Right.
All right, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the trails.
Cheers.
Adios.